Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin, Tim in Green Bay. That was supposed to be a new intro video, and I forgot to preload it. My bad, guys. So it's all good. I told the guys, I'm like, hey, we got a new video. Check it out. They're looking at me like, it's the same video, Clayton. What are you doing, man? So, here we are, right? Here we are. But obviously, it's game day. This is the PTA pregame show. Welcome in. Thanks for making us a part of your pregame festivities. If you're looking for daily Packers content and you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. Guys, we got us a dandy lined up here, man. I'm really, really excited. I think this game's going to be kind of close. I really do, man. I think it's going to be one of those games that's sneaky good on the NFL schedule. Today, what we're going to do in this show is we're going to take you guys around the league. First, we're going to give you the latest on the injury updates, and then we'll get you the inactives when they're ready. We'll take you around the league, give you an update on everything else that's going on in the NFL. Jacob, Tim, how we doing today, boys?
Ready for some football, baby. Let's go. Jacob, how you doing, brother?
I agree. Also ready for some football. Let's go. Hudson, where I live here, is 54 degrees, which is identical to the balmy 54 degrees that it is in Green Bay. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that temperature down in Arizona. It's supposed to be, I think I saw some metrics saying it could feel like it's almost 90 degrees out there, heading to the West Coast, heading there when the plane was delayed 6 hours on the tarmac, basically. I'm not going to lie, guys. I feel a little nervous about this one. I don't like the way that everything's kind of lined up, but I'm hopeful that we're going to go in there and we're going to kind of beat this adversity and come out with a win. What do you guys think of your initial gut feelings?
I'm with you. I'm with you, Jacob, bro. I really am. This team, regardless, we can talk about the injury report. We can talk about the delayed flight. We can talk about the game time decisions. At the end of the day, leave Glendale, Arizona with the dub, man. That's all you got to do. I don't care if we win by a point, we win by 10, 20, 3, whatever. Get the dub, get back to Lambeau, get your practice in, and get ready for the Steelers, right? Let's just go. I don't care about the adversity. Next man up. We got to get it done as a team.
Yeah, and honestly, man, this one feels like it's going to be closer than the Bengals was. Obviously the point spread agrees with that. This being a 6.5 point spread, the last one a 14 to 14.5. So I don't know, man. It feels a little different for me because you're on the road. Like Jacob said, the flight gets delayed. What were they on the tarmac for 5 hours or something like that? I believe
5
they
or
said.
6, yeah.
And, some people roll their eyes and go, "Oh, there ain't nothing to it." The heck there ain't, man. I can't stand to be cramped in a plane for more than 10 minutes than I have to, So I couldn't imagine sitting there for 5 hours. Then, of course, you fly across the country, you get settled in, and you're already kind of away from your comfort level, all that stuff. So they're going to have a little bit of adversity to fight through, but I think the Packers have a good opportunity to get a dub out there this week for sure. Now, listen, we got our own injuries, right? We've talked about their running game being banged up. Matt Schneidman tweeting out Brandon McManus. Let's go ahead and play the clip here. Brandon McManus not even in cleats during warmups. He was kicking this time last week. Looks like it will be Lucas Havrasik again. So that seems to be the rumor on the street. Rob Demovsky also tweeted out Lucas Havrasik was the first Packers player out on the field pregame. The expectation is that he will likely kick again this week while they make sure Brandon McManus is good to go for the long haul and isn't fighting the quad injury all season. So looks like we're going to have Havrasik. I got to be honest though, Tim, I'm not near as worried about Havrasik as I am, maybe some other players if they do have to fill in a pinch. Dude looked lights out last week, man.
Absolutely. He answered the bell last week, and I think there's a realistic possibility he does it again this week. Kickers they call them specialists for a reason. You got a job to do, and there's some background with Havrasik, aka Havrasik, with our special teams unit. Both Matt Orzic and Danny Whelan as a holder. So these guys have worked out together prior to his time in Green Bay, and may explain why he was 5 for 5 last week, and I believe he'll be 100% this week. And it could come down to a kick in this ball game. We talked about it being close. So if McMoney's not ready to go, hey, he's the wily veteran. Bring the kid on who kicked lights out for us last week, and hope he does it this week on the road for sure.
Jacob?
Yeah, I pretty much kind of echo what Tim just said there. Normally, if this was the type of game where you're telling me that we're going to have a backup kicker that's only played with us for 1 week, I'd probably be sweating bullets if I'm being honest. But the way that young man came in and kind of handled the pressure last week, obviously it was a little bit of a different environment being at home, a little more friendly. But I feel like much like the Dallas Stadium, this is kind of a Green Bay Southwest, you know what I mean? There should be a lot of Packer fans that are traveling. Hopefully we'll see a lot of green and gold in the stands there, and that maybe gives a little bit of levity to the pressure that is, to kick. We talked about it many times this week. It's not a given to just get a field goal nowadays. We've had like 10 block kicked in the NFL up to this point. So if we get out of here and the guy has a productive day, I'm not going to be surprised, but I will be completely thankful because it's not easy nowadays.
Yep, that's a fact, man. All right, so other injury concerns here. Rob Demoski tweeted out, I'm told Packers are going to put running back Josh Jacobs through a workout on the field at State Farm Stadium shortly before a final decision is made on today's game. It's the calf, not the illness, that is the issue. So we kind of talked about this with the week leading up, and then Jacobs went through a bunch of stretches and is now testing his calf. So there you see Josh Jacobs on the field, out there on the grass, trying to see if he can make it a go. Tim, I kind of felt like it may have been the illness lingering around, and I think that's pretty much all but confirmed. The illness is gone now. Unfortunately, we'll talk about it in a second too, Jacob. But Keyshawn Nixon seems to be sick now. I'm wondering if they're just spreading everything around. It's ironically, we've had something running through the house here. I'm playing at about 75% right now myself, so we'll see if we can get it.
The same thing happens when the girls don't wipe down the pole at the club, and I just tell them it's about washing your hands. You know what I mean? I mean everything else as well, definitely, but the hands. Come on,
Tim. I'm waiting on it. You know what to do, buddy.
You wash your hands, you wash your butt, Tim.
Can't find it. Clayton changed everything around on me.
I got you. Damn, we hit it at the same time. Hit it, Tim. Hit it.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
I don't know. There's just something about hearing Jacob's voice say "wipe down the pole" that it really sounded disturbing to me, man. So,
you're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
So here's another clip of Josh Jacobs, obviously taking a handoff. He looks good to go, but it's always hard to tell these type of things, right? And by the way, listen, no pads, no equipment at all. Jacob, my man here, he is ripped. Look how thick he is, dude. Seriously, like he is built like a tank, isn't he?
I wasn't going to say anything, but in my head, as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, he's just talk about the definition of a human meat missile. That guy looks like he's just built exactly to be an NFL running back right there.
Thick.
He is thick, Jeff. Thank you. I don't, like you said, I'm not a doctor. You know that. Everybody listening knows very well that I am not a doctor, but he does look like he's got the shiftiness, the agile, the agility. Whether or not he has the power to back it up, that may be one of the things you can't really measure by watching a drill like this, but he seems like he's healthy. Even worst case scenario, I really do have a lot of faith in Brooks and Wilson. Just kind of wondering how they would pepper in maybe the workload there. To me, it would feel like Wilson would be more of kind of the workhorse back, and that Brooks would be used a lot for pass protection, maybe more like third down stuff, but I could be wrong. Again, usually am. But what are your thoughts on that, Tim?
I think if Josh thinks he can play, let him play. That's my thought. And maybe keep him on a snap count, keep an eye on it. If anything, if he tweaks anything or feels a little, adverse to, conditions out there as the game goes, then pull him and it's next man up. But I agree with your statement that I'm confident in Emmanuel Wilson, Chris Brooks. I think we can get it done on the ground enough to beat the Cardinals today, with or without Josh. You don't want to risk anything, down the road, especially a calf. Calf can lead to, Achilles. It can lead to other problems if you overwork anything like that. And it's tough to get a real, bead on it just looking at him here pregame. So I think if he feels good to go based on the workouts pregame, let him go. But keep an eye on him early going. If we got to pull him out and, move the next man up, let's do it. And I think we get the dub either way.
Yeah. Turt L. McGirt says the Vikings getting beat. They did just get scored on. So now as the kick goes through, it is 21-9, the Eagles.
There you go. Like I said, we'll walk you guys through the rest of the league here in just a second. Latest on Keyshawn Nixon. Obviously, he's battling an illness. Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Keyshawn Nixon is questionable with an illness after being added yesterday, but he's out here warming up right now. So as you get a look here at Keyshawn Nixon out there warming up. Listen, I'm not as concerned, although Keyshawn has been a great player this year, man. He's playing like a true number one corner. I would be okay with Carrington Valentine going out there if you're a little concerned. Now, obviously, with Keyshawn, it might be one of those things, Tim, that you activate him and see what he can do. And if he starts to struggle, or hey, he doesn't have the fatigue, right? Or what am I trying to say? If he gets fatigued because of the illness, then you can always just pull him out and save him for a big play in the game or what have you. But I'll be okay with Carrington being out there. But I don't know, man. K9's a dog, no pun intended. That dude, I'd be very, very surprised if he's not on the field when we kick off here.
I agree 100%, Clay. I mean, Keyshawn is going to play unless they, handcuff him to the bench and tell him he can't go on the field, bottom line. But I do like that approach, and CV is waiting in the wings. This is a guy that, has been asked to step up numerous times when a starter goes down in his young career. And for the most part, he's answered the bell. So I like that approach. I think Keyshawn's going to at least try and make a go of it. Much like I said about Josh Jacobs. I think you put him out there if they feel like they can play, and then you keep an eye on him, and it's next man up.
Jacob, what do you think, man? You think Keyshawn's going to be good to go, or would you rather just sit him? Because, again, there's no chance of, getting further injured, obviously, with an illness. So it's one of those things that can he be effective, right?
Yeah. I want him to go out there if he can. I think that we're by far a better defense with him on the field. And that's something that, honestly, one of the things I was wrong about. I kind of doubted K9 going into this season. I thought that our biggest worrisome group was going to be the cornerback room. I think that I've been pleasantly surprised at the way that they've came out and played. Now, do I wish maybe we had more picks and that kind of stuff? Absolutely. But the type of defense that Hafley seems like he wants to play, I think that the cornerbacks are doing a relatively good job. I'd like to see maybe Carrington step up in certain ways and maybe have a better or I should say a worse quarterback percentage with a lot of these guys in certain situations. But K9 specifically, the illness is a tough one because it's like if you really have that full-fledged flu and you're in the thick of it, it's tough to ask a guy to go out there and really play meaningful snaps in the NFL. It really is. But if he's just kind of in the tail end of it, or if he thinks he can, I don't know what they got back there in special cocktails that maybe you take that makes the nose go away and that kind of stuff. If it's like a cough, if it's a runny nose, if that's the sort of thing. But if he's like in the puking stage, yeah, I don't want him on the field really because I just feel like you can't play your best ball. But if he's kind of still just, here we go.
Breaking news. The Green Bay Packers just tweeted out Josh Jacobs is active versus Arizona.
Get ready to go.
Well, that's right. He is ready to go. Sorry, Jacob. Me and Tim were thinking the same thing. There's, and I want to give a shout out to B Timmy 1037. He's the one who first posted it there. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, no, I was just going to basically end up saying what Nick McSwain said. Just give K9 some perks. He'll be fine, baby. Well, my knee. I thought you said the flu. My knee.
My knee.
I love how he said it's almost like he started to spill the beans in that interview, Tim, and then he thought about I just need to try not to talk here.
Yeah, he knew Michelle Tafoya as a pro too. She would get it out of him, so he had to stop himself short there for sure.
Yeah, and we got all kinds of stuff shaking up across the league. So why don't we just go ahead and dive into the around the league portion of the show here? We're going to give you guys updates on scores throughout the National Football League, and more specifically, the teams that have a direct impact on the Green Bay Packers. So let's just begin to dive into it here, man, as we've got the Saints and the Bears. The Saints actually just scored, so the Bears are only leading 20-14 at the moment. Now, obviously, they're coming in this game 3-2. The Saints are sitting at an abysmal 1-5. You go to the box score, Caleb Williams. Look at this, Jacob, less than stellar. 8 of 17, 97 yards and an interception. Is the Caleb Williams love going to dissipate because the Saints are a horrible football team?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird when everybody was talking about how Spencer Rattler was going to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and he comes in with basically a better stat line by far, doubling basically all of his metrics. Granted, he's got an interception and a couple sacks there, but 18 of 17, 97 yards, and an interception, I don't think that's generational quarterback numbers there, do you?
It does not look like it, Tim. It doesn't. But again, Spencer Rattler going out there trying to get the job done. The other thing I want to point out here, Tim, look, notice the Bears have a nice running game going for Caleb too, and he still can't make it happen. You look on the other side, man, You look like Spencer Rattler trying to make chicken crap out of chicken you-know-what or chicken you-know-what out of chicken crap, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Who dat? Let's go. Let's go Saints. Geaux. Go Saints. Beat the Bears. I love it.
Yeah. Chris Olave, 5 catches for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game there. And then DJ Moore is the leading receiver for the Bears, 2 catches for 32 yards. Roma Dunze, 2 catches for 31 yards. Listen, I've been watching this game all morning, or early afternoon, I guess you could say. It feels like the Bears have dominated this game. So when I look up and I see this stat line, it does surprise me when I look at the box score, because it feels like, wow, the Saints have dominated this game when you look at the stats. But watching the game, it feels like the Bears have had this in hand all day long. Hopefully, they fall flat on their face here. So again, the Chicago Bears are leading the Saints 20-14 with 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Spencer Rattler's a dog, man. He's a competitor. He's going to get it done today. Let's go.
There you go. Let's go to Cleveland. Here's the Miami Dolphins coming in at 1-5, matching the Browns' 1-5 record. The Browns are leading 24-6. My goodness. Dylan Gabriel, 6 of 8 for 59 yards, but they're doing it on the ground. Quinshon Judkins, 20 carries for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, along of 46 there. And Tua Tagovailoa off to a rough start here with 10 minutes left in the third quarter. He's only 6 of 14, 35 yards, and an interception. Jacob,
Thanks.
Browns, man, look like they might pull this one off, dude.
Yeah, I mean, all that talk about the Browns being a terrible, terrible team when you have a defense as good as they have, it's just going to come down to the quarterbacking. And Dylan Gabriel, well, obviously those numbers aren't going to wow anybody. At least he's doing what he can. How long do you think it is until maybe the Tua talk starts becoming very loud about maybe benching that guy?
That's a great question, man. The thing with Tua is they gave him that contract, right? So he's going to be there for the foreseeable future. To answer your question, Jacob, I think he will outlast Coach McDaniels. There's no doubt about that. I think he, the fact that they gave him that guaranteed money, he'll be around at least a year or two after McDaniels. If they were to let McDaniels go this year, they would give somebody else the opportunity, because really what it comes down to is these owners, Tim, once they sign a guaranteed check for any amount, they would much rather just go ahead and kick the coach to the curb and say, it was his fault, as opposed to we made the wrong decision here.
Especially when you're dealing with a quarterback that is Nick Saban disciple. And, Tua's reputation precedes him. And I think Coach McDaniel's reputation precedes him as well this year. So I would agree. I think Tua probably sticks around longer than the coach. Yeah.
As Blake K4 in the chat says, McDaniel about to be a Green Bay consultant sooner rather than later. I completely agree with that, by the way. And a hell of a running coordinating coach, too, by the way.
Yep.
That's something that he was very, very known for on his come up in the league. So next game on the docket here, you get the Patriots at the Titans. Patriots are starting to run away with it here. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They're leading 31-13. Drake May is an absolute stud. 16 of 17, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in that game. Cam Ward having a pretty good game too. 12 of 17, 151 yards and a touchdown. And really what it comes down to is the Patriots being able to run the ball a little more effectively. You've got 15 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown for Ramondre Stevenson. And then Drake May scrambled 6 times for 52 yards as well. The running game for Tennessee has been abysmal at best. Keyshawn Butte, 2 catches, 55 yards and a tutter.
Yeah, Cam Ward, just the latest quarterback victim in Tennessee, right? Poor guy.
Right. Yeah. You know what's interesting? If you can scroll up real quick and look at, remember Chimera DK? I think that's how you pronounce his name. All of a sudden, we heard rumors that he was kind of flashing in preseason with them, training camp, and now all of a sudden you look up and he's got 4 receptions, 70 yards, a touchdown. By far their best receiver on the day. Kind of interesting.
If I remember correctly, too, Jacob, he had a really, really, really good catch rate, didn't he?
Correct.
I think
I don't think he had a drop kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember right. All right, moving along. Up next, we get the Raiders at the Chiefs. Probably shouldn't even mention it, but the Chiefs are boat racing the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
Patrick Mahomes, boys, 26 of 35, 286 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Isaiah Pacheco, 13 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown there as well. On the other side, Geno Smith, 6 of 8 for 31 yards. Yuck. Pretty nasty stuff there. Travis Kelce getting his Taylor Swift on today, 3 catches for 54 yards. So Rashee Rice back in the fold there as well, 7 catches for 42 yards on 10 targets. And Rashard Smith.
Wow.
Yeah, off to a good return there for sure. So again, the Chiefs are leading the Raiders 31-0. What's crazy is you guys remember the Geno Smith talk, right? This off season, they obviously they trade a 3rd-round pick to Seattle for him, and then Seattle. So basically, what happened was Seattle said, "Yeah, we'll take your pick and we'll upgrade the quarterback position by signing Sam Darnold." It's wild to think about. So the Raiders, like they got some tough days ahead of them for sure.
Yep,
All
definitely
right.
bottom of the barrel in the league, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Battling for the worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Let's get to the most exciting game here, Jacob, as the Philadelphia Eagles coming in at 4-2 are facing the Minnesota Vikings, who are 3-2. And the Eagles 21-9 right now. There's 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. I think it's the Vikings ball currently. So Jalen Hurts, 11 of 13, 170 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He is picking B-Flow's defense apart. Carson Wentz on the other side, 17 of 26, 211 yards passing, but 2 interceptions.
You get a pick, and you get a pick.
I'm telling you, Christmas came early in Minneapolis, Jacob. Carson Wentz just giving gifts out over there.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about how the Vikings organization felt good enough to let not only Sam Darnold go, but our boy Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones over there, and both those guys are absolutely ripping up the league as they sit here and watch Carson Wentz take them down to the back half of the season now. And going against the Eagles, I didn't necessarily think that they were going to get out here with a win, but I thought they'd make it a little more interesting than they have. So far, it seems a little bit disappointing. If you're a Vikings fan, you got to be shaking your head and wondering, what the hell did we do?
Jacob, you're over there in Hudson. You're right across the river. You're pretty close. Can you smell the dumpster fire from your house right
I
now?
can taste their river of tears. Their tears sustain me, Tim.
We got a live update here, a little play-by-play. The Bears are inside the 2-yard line. It's a 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. They're up 20-14. They come out in a 12 nasty ace set. Caleb under center. They're going to motion the U over.
What?
He bobbled the snap and had to fall on it, so they turned the ball over on downs. Oh, and we got a penalty. They had a false start, and Caleb bobbled the snap, so it is going to be a turnover on downs for the Saints, who stand tall there. I say stand tall, but really it was just Caleb Williams poo-poo in the bed there. So
that's a shame.
So Saints
Get ready to go.
Saints down by 6, going to get the ball back there. Pretty cool. So
love it.
Back to the Vikings talk real quick. What do we think about this Vikings team? Because Carson Wentz played pretty good the last couple of weeks, right? And now all of a sudden he came out today and just, like I said, crapped the bed against Vic Fangio. It's cool seeing Vic Fangio do some coffee house stuff too, Tim. Usually he plays just that conservative quarters coverage. He's really mixing and matching today against the Vikings, kind of throwing a little bit of B-Flow's tactics at him, right back at him, I should say.
I think that's what's got Minnesota's offense a little flustered, right? They have weapons. I think they might have had, a game plan that, Fangio probably expected and chose to mix it up a little bit. We talked about playing aggressive at the catch point if you're a corner or a safety. We saw that with Cooper DeJean today, taking a touchdown away in this ball game. Philly's defense is, really the big story in this game. Minnesota has no answer for them whatsoever.
Yeah, we got some.
As we're sitting here talking smack, though, the Vikings did just get it to a 1st and goal. I believe they're somewhere around the 9 or 8 yard line there. Addison just caught a little out route to put him in that range, so they are moving. 4:48 left in the 3rd there.
There you go. Ron Sample with some breaking news. Belton inactive. Two must be feeling.
I think he means Tom.
Tom, okay, gotcha. Yeah, all right, cool. So Zach Tom must be feeling pretty good. So they're going to let Belton sit out another week. I mean, this is 3 weeks in a row for Belton, and they didn't put him on IR, so that's a little bit, I guess a little fluid, right? Taking it week to week. But we've seen this a lot last year as well. So thank you for that info, Ron. Appreciate you, buddy.
Oof.
All right, let's move it along now to the next game that's going on across the league. We got the Panthers at the Jets. The Panthers are winning 13-3 on the road in New York. Tim, go ahead and start grinning, buddy. The Jets coming in 0-6. Look like it's going to be 0-7. Justin Fields, 6 of 12, 46 yards. Sure could use an Aaron Rodgers right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Aaron Glenn, if you need a friend, man, hit me up anytime. I'm here to listen.
Tim, and Aaron, if you need another friend, don't call me. You're an ass. You know what I'm saying? So, the running game, Breece Hall looks like they're
Actually, I would just fly him out to Green Bay just to tell him I don't want to talk to him.
just to say, hey, man, you ain't got a friend in me. Bryce Young, 13 of 22 for 128 yards and 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Rico Dowdle continues to play good football. 8 carries, 41 yards there on the day as well. Ted McMillan, 3 catches for 33 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 1 catch for 26 yards.
1923 throwback game at Lambeau coming up in a few weeks against this Panthers team. Packer fans, keep your eyes on the Carolina Panthers, another team that you want to laugh at, but you can't afford to not take seriously. Keep an eye on these guys. We got them coming up before you know it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Vikings did just score a touchdown. Looks like Madsen just got one, and Mason, sorry.
Well, isn't that special?
We got a dandy brewing, right? So, all right, let's jump away from that. We'll come back to where we picked up there with the Jets because we do have the inactive list officially released. So let's go ahead and get that on the screen. Tom Silverstein just tweeted it out. Kicker Brandon McManus is inactive. Running back Pierre Strong Jr. is inactive. So, Tim, we were right yesterday. They called him up to be prepared in case Jacobs couldn't go. Jacobs can go, so they're just going to keep him inactive, right? Guard Donovan Jennings inactive. Tackle Anthony Belton inactive. Tight end Ben Sims inactive. Defensive lineman Lucas Van Ness and Devontae White both inactive there as well. So I'm trying to think, man. So that means Keyshawn's good to go, right? Keyshawn Nixon's good to go. Josh Jacobs is good to go. Is there somebody else I'm missing? Obviously Zach Tom, right? So yeah, here we go. Thank you. This is Christopher. I believe they changed your name on us again, right? Yeah. Jacobs, Tom, Hobbs, Nixon, Wicks, all active today. So we're damn near at full strength here, boys. This is exciting.
I like that. And then Ben Sims inactive. I'm assuming that's Musgrave, Tuck Norris, and Fitzpatrick will be your tight ends today then.
Which makes you think, with only 3 active, probably pressing into 11 personnel a little bit more, right? Which we've kind of talked about after breaking down the tapes. So, if you have 4 active, you might be a 12 heavy day. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to add to that, Jacob? Anything we're missing there in terms of the inactives, man?
No, it's just kind of interesting to see how the evolution has came. I believe it was towards the end of the season, maybe even the last game. We were all very shocked that Ben Sims was a healthy scratch. And we were wondering, well, does that mean that Fitzpatrick is kind of looked as the favorite in the eyes of the coaches? We didn't really have a definitive answer at the time. I think now we can say that, yeah, it looks like he's solidified himself as tight end 3.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
There's a strong argument for that, for sure. I think Ben Sims being active could depend on matchup and deployment too, like Clayton was saying, game plan. But I would agree. I think we've seen some good football out of Fitzpatrick for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I think we've actually got everybody up to date here on the scores. Now, obviously, we didn't talk about the game last night, earlier this morning over in London. The LA Rams boat raced the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-7. That was a Jaguars team that came in 4-2. So the Rams quickly solidifying themselves, Tim, as one of the top teams in the NFC. There's no doubt about that, man. It's going to be, to me, it feels like the 49ers, the Rams, the Packers, the Eagles. Those are the 4 that really stick out. And I'm sure I'm missing a handful of teams as well.
Maybe Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. There's a good one. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting finish to the season for sure. What do y'all think about the Rams? Do you think they're the real deal? And this was without Puka Nacua as well.
Yeah,
exactly. You see they leaned on Tay Adams today for sure. We got some vintage Tay Adams one-handed grabs in the end zone. Yeah, for sure. I think the Rams are legit. I do.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, Jacob, 21 of 33, 182 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Hell of a game.
No interceptions, no sacks. I mean, it just they made it look easy out there. I don't know if Jacksonville got a little bit of the the overseas bug kind of thing where you just get the jet lag and can't kind of get honed in. But I thought it would be way more of a entertaining game than it ended up being. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see here, Trevor Lawrence was sacked 7 times and they lost 32 yards.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Correct, Coach. That is correct. So a little update here. It looks like if this is real time, let me hit refresh. So the Saints do still have the ball. It looked like they might have picked the Saints off on TV.
That's what Dave is saying, interception Bears.
Yeah, but that's really weird. So this must just not be up to date yet. So it looked like his knee might have hit out of bounds too. So I'm hoping they go back and show the replay. They went to a commercial on mine. But the Eagles on a run here with, is that Saquon? Saquon Barkley with a nice gain up the middle. Of course, the flag comes in, though. So Philadelphia Eagles are leading 21-16 right now over the Minnesota Vikings. And it was a hold on the Eagles. Imagine that. So, all right, boys. Anything else y'all want to hit in terms of the team? Jacob, I know you had some over-unders. Why don't we kind of, if we can keep it somewhat organized in a uniform manner here, I want to get these over-unders. Let's start with Jordan Love. What's his over-under on passing yards?
Passing yards for Jordan Love is going to be 238 and a half.
238 and a half. Tim, how do you feel about that number, man?
I think it's a pretty damn good number. I'm going to take the over.
Okay. So you're going to go with the over there, right? And let's just take a quick glance. I won't put it on the screen, but I'll give you guys an idea. If we go to passing defense, we kind of talked about this a little bit during the week.
Yeah.
Passing defense, Arizona is currently they are tied for 9th best in the league at 6.2 yards per pass attempt. All right. So 238, I think that seems pretty reasonable. I think I would take the over as well, Tim. I do. Especially with Josh Jacobs being a little banged up. Maybe you don't lean on him as much as you want to, right? Although I think there is a good chance you play with the lead again once again today. But Jacob, what do you think about that, man? Would you take the over or the under?
I would take the over today. Just kind of like you talked about. I just have a weird feeling that this might be a more difficult game than we're thinking it could be. If we, for some reason, get off to a slow start, end up having to pass in a little bit more, not really trusting Jacobs if he does still have a little lingering of that, of the illness hitting him. I don't want to force him to come back and have to be kind of the workhorse too quickly. So I would take the over pretty confidently there.
All right.
I'd see him at like that 250, 275 range. We talked about Arizona, their strong suit is their pass defense, but I think Jay Money can definitely smash the over on 238 and a half.
Turt McGirt in the chat says he agrees. Take the over 238.5. All right, Jacob, what do we got next, man?
And still keeping that vein with Love, they've upped it considerably considering what his rushing over-unders used to be. Now they have him at 11 and a half. I still think I'm smashing that the way he's been running lately. Smashing the over. Thank you there, Tim. That looks perfect.
Yes, I would take the over there as well, man. I'll tell you, I love putting a little parlay together of quarterback over rushing yards. Sometimes those are pretty easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel there. What do you think, Tim? You taking that over as well?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Not to be boring, but I agree. I would take the over on that. I mean, we've seen Jay Money do it on a play or two before, and he's already hit the over on these, so I'll take it.
All right. What's up next, Jacob?
You guys want to do receiving yards?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I'm kind of interested here. They got Wicks at 26 and a half. I mean, all these just scream smash, but it's just it's who's going to get the ball. The one that I always go to is Jacobs receiving yards. They've got him at 16 and a half. That's, again, another one where I believe that it started to slowly increase because I believe they're getting him in the passing game more. I think that he still does not have a receiving touchdown on the season, which is a little surprising to me because I know that before he got to the Packers, I don't think he had a single receiving touchdown in his career. I believe that was like the big mystic kind of thing. And we did get one or two last year. So I'd take the over on 16 and a half. And Jacobs, what do you guys think about that?
I think it depends on how much ball he plays today, right? We know he's active, but I would feel pretty safe about taking the over on that. Again, that could happen in, one or two snaps. And he's already on the over, so I would take the over.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, too, Tim, they played a lot of quarters coverage, right? So with that being the case, probably looking to check it down. Yeah, and Josh Jacobs has been very, very effective in the passing game for sure. Go ahead, Jake.
So Golden is slated at 45 and a half. What I think is more interesting is he's slated at 2.5 catches.
Ooh, really? 2.5 catches. So Wicks is active though, right?
Yep.
Christian is inactive. I would take the over on that 2.5 catches.
Well, and that's the one that, so Jacobs is 1.5 receptions, Dobbs 2.5 receptions, Golden, like we just said, is 2.5, Davian 1.5, Tucker 3.5. I mean,
over. I was
going to say, so if you had to pick one, right, you can only pick one, who do you think will be the slam dunk? Because to me, they play a lot of quarters, right? And with quarter, typically you'll play the underneath game.
I think I would smash the Jacobs 1.5 over.
Would you? Yeah. That might be a little easier. So if you came down to the receivers between Wicks, Dobby, and Matthew Golden, that's a tough one there. I don't know, man. It just feels like Romeo Dobbs is always going to get those crucial targets. If it's a close game, I would take Dobbs. If it's one of those games where we're running away with it, Tim, probably take Matthew Golden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree. And what did we talk about at the top of the show? It's probably going to be a close game. So I would go with MG, the golden child, on this one personally.
All right.
Okay. What I think is more interesting is just that Tucker Kraft, they have more confidence in him. They have him at 3.5 receptions. He's the highest receiver on the team that has the highest rating right now, which I thought was interesting. If you look at the other side, though, they've got Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4 receptions, Michael Carter at 1.5, Zay Jones at 1.5, Trey McBride, they have him at 6.5. So they really think that they're going to lean on Trey McBride early and often and consistently through the game. That to me may be my biggest worry, is that for some reason, if Quay can't hang with them, if Cooper's not doing some good coverage stuff, that he could pick us apart kind of in those early downs and kind of set up. I believe it's the guy named Bam Knight is going to be the productive or the prominent running back. So who knows what to think about that, man. Do you got any thoughts on that, Tim?
We kind of talked about that last night a little bit with, Arizona maybe pressing into some 12 looks, utilizing McBride in the 2 tight end sets, and you have to account for him. So I think there's validity to that point. McBride is going to be a focal point of their offense. Then we give him targets, probably more so in those 12 personnel looks, I think, because it's going to free him up a little bit more than him being the only tight end on the field in an 11 look. So I think you're right about that for sure with McBride.
Yeah.
McBride's very interesting because, again, he doesn't have – he's not been as effective with yak yards this year, but, man, he's their leading receiver. It's just one of those things that he typically gets tackled where he catches the ball, but obviously he's leading their team in receiving yards. And I can't remember, what was his yards per catch? I'm going to look that up real quick, Jake, if you keep on going there, man. I want to see exactly what his yards per reception was.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you look at Prize Picks, if Jordan Love's over on the rush yards, which again was 11.5, is the 3rd most popular pick right now. So I think a lot of people have kind of understood that Jordan Love is not the Jordan Love of last year, where he had the groin, the knee, the lower body injuries that were stopping that guy from tucking the ball and running. They could probably throw like a 20-yard over under, and I'd still feel confident hitting that over, just because he does seem like that he understands that was a aspect of his game that was drastically cut short last year, and it does make him, I believe, I think it elevates him from a top 10 quarterback to a top 5, maybe top 3 quarterback when he can get his legs involved. I really do think it's that important.
Yeah. And in terms of Trey McBride, again, he's got 347 yards receiving on a year, 2 touchdowns, yards per reception is 9.4. However, what I was talking about earlier in the week, his yak over expected is a -8. So it's just one of those things where, according to the analytics, he seems to be, pretty strong at the catch point, but not picking up a whole lot in terms of what's actually there to beat. It doesn't mean he doesn't have yak yards. He's got quite a few yak yards. It's just over expected. Obviously it's not living up to the amount of targets he's getting there. He's been targeted 53 times. He's literally been targeted almost 20 more times. I think 19 more targets than Marvin Harrison Jr. this year.
Wow. See, that's like when we talk about Tucker Kraft on our side. What was his over under today?
For the yards, it's 46.5. For the catches, it's 3.5.
Yeah, it's tough because we talk about Tuck Norris getting the targets in this Matt LaFleur offense. We're spreading the ball around a lot. I think if this is a game where Tucker's going to get those targets, I would take the overs. If it's a game where we're going to see a lot of, running the football, we're going to see a lot of Matthew Golden and Romeo Dobbs, and maybe Tuck Norris doesn't quite get, the targets that, say, a Trey McBride does, then I'd be, liable to maybe take the under on at least one of those.
Yeah, it's interesting if you look at the comparison between the 2 starting tight ends. We think of Tucker Kraft as being pretty impressive. His over-under, again, was 46.5. Trey McBride's was 64.5 for receiving yards. And, again, his catching over-under was 6.5. So they definitely think that he's going to be probably the main production guy there for Cardinals.
Yeah.
We got an update here, too, from Chris. He says the Eagles missed the kick, so they had a chance to tack on 3, and they did miss that wide right. So, again, that score, a little up, that update there is Eagles are leading 21-16 over the Vikings. Number one Packer fan said, would y'all put Golden in fantasy today? Asking for a friend, LOL. Jacob, you're the fantasy guy. What do you think, man? Do you think this would be a good day to have Golden out there, or do you think maybe go a different route?
I mean, I'd have to know the context of what he could play other than Golden. He's not definitely going to be a number one wide receiver most weeks at this point in his career, but he's the guy that can, have 3 catches and get 80 yards and a touchdown really easily. But if he, for some reason, Golden's the type of player where if I feel like if he catches more than 3 or 4 or 5 balls, he's going to have over 100 yards, probably a touchdown. As he gets more into his career, I definitely think he's become more of a possession receiver. If he had other options going into this game, I might probably start the other options if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And Chris asked in the chat, Golden or Kraft for fantasy? That's the big question. What do you think there, Jake? You had to go one or the other.
I mean, again, it's kind of apples and oranges. I love Kraft for the tight end position specifically. I think that he outperforms just the way the guy has when he has the ball in his hands, the yak. I mean, he is special. You just talked about how McBride, he gets a lot of catches and all that, but after he catches the ball, he's kind of a statue. He falls down. He's not really, I shouldn't say he's not an athlete, but the way that Tucker Kraft, he is an all-around tight end. I'll never stop singing this dude's praises, from the blocking game to the way that he runs his routes to the athletic catches that he's able to make. And then when he gets the ball in his hands and he has space, that boy ain't going down. I think I listened to Ryan's podcast a couple of days ago where he's like, I've never seen, he's referencing Tucker's scoring play last week, where he's like, the guy leaves his feet, goes in the air, the guy that goes to hit him ricochets off of him. Well, he has no everybody, my coaches, my dad always to tell you, never leave your feet. You got no leverage kind of thing. Right. He's just defies that logic, the physics, and they just pew, pew, pew. They just ricochet off of Tuck Norris because he is the lung dart captain, and whatever he wants to do, he dictates space-time continuum, bro. There ain't no tackling Tuck if he doesn't want to be.
So to answer Chris's question, is Tuck Norris. That's your answer.
Let's go with Tuck.
I think I would too, man, because of the quarter looks, right?
Yeah.
I think it would, because I think there's going to be times where Matthew Golden is going to be challenged with having to run a choice route. And I'm not quite there yet with Matthew Golden. You guys know I'm very, very big on Matthew Golden. I think he's going to be a great football player. But with the choice aspect and not truly understanding the choice just yet in Matt LaFleur's offense, I think Tucker Kraft would be the safer bet, because we know if they're running some kind of quarter coverage and you start to run a climb or a post route, that quarter side probably going to play it safe. Man, it opens up everything underneath the Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, give me them 3-step drop and hammer that throw to Tuck Norris all day long. Let's go.
Little sticks concept, a little spot play, something like that. Get the ball out quick, let Tucker eat, man. He's the yak god. I'm going to get a number 85 jersey that says Kraft on the back, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put yak god is what we're going to put on.
I love it.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
All right. The Vikings were in the red zone in scoring position. Wentz just took a brutal third down sack. It is now 4th and long. Looks like they might be having the field goal unit come out.
Got it. So everything's a little bit behind. Jacob's right there in town for sure, or fairly close to Minneapolis, right, Jacob?
Yeah,
so
30 minutes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So the box score just now got updated. So, 4th and 12. You said they're kicking the field goal. Is that right, Jacob?
Looks like it. Yep. Yes, they are.
All right. So you can give us a live update there. Just a couple of statistics here. Jalen Hurts is now up 15 of 17, 221 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Carson Wentz has 2 interceptions on the day. He's 21 of 30 for 272 yards passing. Jordan Addison had himself a game so far, though, 5 catches for 94 yards. Obviously, they're probably bracket covering Justin Jefferson a little bit. What you got, Jacob?
Yeah, 35-yard field goal just went right through the uprights. It's good. 21-19.
21-19. So we got a 2-point ball game here between the Eagles and the Vikings. We'll come back to that here in a second, as that's coming right down to the wire. Let's go to the Bears game and see what we got going on here. Looks like it's Saints ball at about their own 20-yard line, and the score is 23-14. The Bears currently lead. Caleb Williams is 12 of 22, 143 yards passing, 1 interception, no touchdowns. He's been sacked 1 time for a loss of 8 yards, continuing to lean on that run there. And Spencer Rattler, man, if he don't throw those 2 interceptions, they're probably winning this ball game, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, the old rat. Come on, Spencer. You're supposed to be good. No, I mean, I don't know if you followed Spencer Rattler's career, but that guy, he was known to be kind of a arrogant. I'll just say an arrogant person. Didn't really have a lot. Let's just say that nobody went to his birthday party type stuff. If you're going to do
yeah, and he bounced around college a lot, right? At one point, both he and Caleb Williams were in Oklahoma with
Yep.
Lincoln Riley. And then, of course, Spencer Rattler, I think he ended up going to South Carolina. And then, obviously, Lincoln Riley takes a job at USC. Caleb Williams follows him to USC, which shout out to my Notre Dame Fighting Irish for just smoking that head last night for the USC Trojans. If that is the end of that rivalry, because if you guys are not aware, USC's wanting to pull out of that rivalry, right? Well, I think the Irish won 6 of the last 7, so they just kicked their ass the entire time, Tim. And I think USC gonna take the ball and go home, man. I believe that's what's happening.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Pushing it back to Spencer Rattler, say what you want about him, but he's facing the Bears today, so I'm a Spencer Rattler fan and a Saints fan right now. Let's go.
Yeah, and something that's not been talked about a lot either is that, if I remember correctly, the Bears defenses or the Bears offense has been pretty solid, right? It's their defense that struggled, if I remember correctly. Let's see where they're at. In points per play, they're sitting 15th on offense. All right, so they got the 15th best scoring offense in points per play. And then scoring defense, points per play. Let's see how they're shaking out here. They are dead last at 0.493. So, again, what happened? You fire Eberflus, and you guys, I think we would all agree their defense was pretty solid under Eberflus, right? It seemed like they were, top 10, top 15, but their offense was crappy. Well, now you hire Ben Johnson. Now their offense is top 15, and their defense is in the tank. So it's going to be one of those things for them. I don't see the Bears being able to put a run together and go and compete for a championship this year, but I do think they have enough talent to knock a few teams off for sure. So, in terms of receiving too, how has Loveland done today? So Colston Loveland, 2 targets, 1 catch for 9 yards is what we got there. So he's kind of looking like, now listen, it's early and it's only, his rookie year, but he's kind of looking a little bit like a bust to me. And Ty Warren was that player in the draft that was just an absolute dog. I'm going to pull up my sheet real quick and see exactly where I had those 2 guys. What do y'all think about the Bears and kind of how they built this roster out?
Oh, well, keep Poles as GM forever, please.
Lifetime contract, right there.
Let's go.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I remember when we saw, I don't know it off the top of my head, but you just said Colston Loveland, I believe, was their first pick. Luther Burden was another high pick that they did. Kyle Monungai was one, and I think they also drafted, maybe an offensive lineman or something like that. I remember watching their draft and thinking, this is the draft you're putting together to turn around this team. It just, to me, didn't scream confidence. And, I still think that like the dark arts poker says the Bears still suck. That's my thought too. They may show some flashes here and there, and I think they've had honestly the benefit of having a pretty nice schedule to let them highlight some of their quote unquote, positives or their the lack of their flaws. But I think as they start to compete against higher competition, you're going to see the real Caleb Williams come out, and I mean that literally and figuratively. So.
Yeah. And I will point this out, Tim, we did get it right. We had Ty Warren as the best tight end in the draft with an 8.4 grade. And then Colston Loveland was second at a 13.1. Then you had to jump down 2 tiers to find Mason Taylor, and then a 3rd tier to find Harold Fanning Jr., Elijah Arroyo, and Gunnar Helm there. So we did kind of nailed that, man. Ty Warren's a stud there for the Colts this year.
Yeah, for sure. Feel pretty good about our draft board with the tight ends. I think we were in the ballpark on a lot of those guys for sure.
Yeah, Ty Warren's got an over/under set at 58.5, so he definitely is used, and they see him as being probably their main go-to guy right now on that offense, which is kind of crazy to think about him and Pittman probably.
Yep. And Fannin Jr. was one of our favorites, Jacob.
Love Fannin Jr. Love him.
So back to the Eagles-Vikings game. The Eagles have the ball back again. It's 3rd and 13. Probably going to be punting this thing away. They're at their own 27-yard line. Jalen Hurts, 15 of 18, 221 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Carson Wentz, still no touchdown passes there, obviously. So this one's going to come down to the wire, boys. I think the Vikings are going to get a shot. And listen, KOC, man, he may be able to put it together, lead them down the field, kick a field goal, get a 1-point lead, and then it's going to be on the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to see if they can pull one out here.
Man, Hurts just rolled to his right and threw a beautiful long comeback route to A.J. Brown to get a first down on a long third down play.
Nice. Good stuff there. Keep us updated. As Chris in the chat says, Eagles do not look the same. They do not. And again, this is what we talk about, right? You get a team that goes on a big run and they've had a lot of success, And then all of a sudden, Tim, the other 31 teams have all that tape on what you did well, right? And they're going to come back the next year and they know exactly how to combat it.
It is. It's hard enough to get to the top of the mountain once, let alone, more than once, let alone multiple championships, let alone hang on to it for the better part of 5, 6, 7, 10 years in the league. It's getting increasingly difficult for teams to do that in the modern NFL. So, it's true. We talk about NFL, not for long. We've said this countless times. So, if the window's open, you got to maximize your opportunities. But it is true. It's kind of a testament to this league and the way the game is played nowadays that, it's not a foregone conclusion that the Eagles are going to just run away with the NFC and go to another Super Bowl. They do not look like the same team as they did last year or even the year before. This is a week-to-week, year-to-year type of league, and that's evident with what we're seeing.
We got some breaking news here. So it was a 2nd and short. Saquon Barkley spun, crazy Saquon Barkley-ish type of play where he spins away from the defender in the back field to avoid a tackle for loss, gets ahead for the first down, but it looks like he has injured himself and he's pounding the ground. Tried to get back up, had to go back down to a knee and started pounding the field. He did just slightly kind of meander off, but he looks like he's in pain.
Very interesting. I just seen the play just now. I didn't notice anything, but you're right, man. That looks pretty bad the way he's landing. I wonder if it's his ankle, maybe. Let's see what happens.
It looks like they might be adjusting his shoulder. It looks like he might have a stinger in his shoulder.
Gotcha. So either a stinger, maybe a separated shoulder, something like that. Gotcha. All right, so there you go. We'll keep you up to date there. Obviously, that helps the Vikings' chances of coming back here,
Dirt McGirt. Come on, man.
It's a boo-boo. The boo-boo. So, all right, we'll keep you posted on that. 8:02 left in that game there with the Vikings. I keep hitting refresh on Packers Twitter, and there's nothing coming out, no information whatsoever. So, I mean, usually the Packers will post them coming out of a tunnel or something. There's nothing.
Long pass down the center to Devontae Smith. About a 25-yard gain, setting them up in almost in the red zone of the Vikings there. So they are marching down that field.
Good deal. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. So, all right, good deal, man. Hopefully they can pull this one off. Obviously, if the Vikings do fall here to 3-3, Tim, this is going to help your NFC North race for the Packers on down the road here, right? I mean, this is something too. Mandy was downstairs earlier. She said we're pulling for the Vikings in this one, right? We want the Eagles to lose. I'm like,
no.
Don't worry about the conference right now. Let's worry about the division. Let's focus on that first and foremost, right? So,
yeah, absolutely. Fly Eagles, fly today. Find a way to get it done against the Vikings for sure. I agree.
Oh, that being said, he just hit AJ Brown on a beautiful little late post route, and he just scored. And Eagles go up now 27-19 before they kick the field goal. So.
Love it.
Feeling good about it, boys. Feeling good about it. So if the Vikings do drop this one, and what is there? A little less than 8 minutes left in that one, right?
6:35 in the fourth.
Going to come down to that Philly defense here.
All right, so 6:35 left in the fourth. Let's hop back over to the Bears game real quick, if I can find it, and see what's going on there. What's crack-a-lacking? Still the Saints ball? Nope, it's a Bear. What the hell's going on here? Who's got the ball? Okay, looks like it's Bears ball. Okay, Bears are leading 23-14. At the moment, Bears ball, 10 minutes left in this game. And you kind of feeling like the Bears are just going to ugly this one all the way out here, boys.
I'm holding on to hope. Come on, Who Dat Nation. Let's go. Go, Saints.
Although it will be fun, right, if the Vikings drop one today and all of a sudden they're in the basement of the North. They ain't been there in a while, right, Tim?
That's true. What would be immaculate would be a Bears loss, a Vikings loss, and a Lions loss tomorrow with the Packers win this afternoon. That would be immaculate.
Yes, it would.
Jacob, you tuning in for sports talk for that one in Minneapolis.
Right? That's what I was just going to say. That would be brilliant because, like you said, they've been high up on their horse, especially with this last year when they had, what was it? Did they get 15 wins? Did they hit 15? I thought they did. And then the fact that they let those three quarterbacks technically walk. They decided we're going to go with JJ and bring in Carson, the orange-headed Wentz, and then the way that the season has performed now. I mean, I will definitely be tuning in to listen to Paul Allen talk about how much he hates that Viking team. He is the worst. If you go, he is the worst.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
He's got the most punchable voice. There's no doubt about it. Emilio, how you doing, man? What's up? Where you been? Where you at? Good morning, Mexican America.
Got caught up playing Oblivion, then got caught up in a couple Dynasty games. So I was just getting stuff done around the house, though, you know.
He said, when I'm not winning national titles, I'm shooting elks with bow and arrows. Right? Good stuff, man. How do you feel? We haven't had a take on obviously I heard your take on this game. We gave a little bit of an update. Most players are healthy, right? You got a couple inactives, obviously LVN, Devontae White.
Right.
Josh Jacobs is good to go. Keyshawn Nixon's good to go. I don't know how much of the show you've listened to, but
what was up with Keyshawn?
He was sick. It looks like he caught an illness as well. You know, Josh
Jacob going around the locker room now.
That's what I assume. I don't have nobody said that, but then again, I could see the team not wanting to present it like that too. But I'd say that's probably what's going on.
It's whatever I had a week ago. I don't wish that on anyone. I've
got it now, so here we go.
You can't breathe, right, Clay? You literally cannot breathe.
Yeah, it's just everything is just stuffy, sore throat, can't sleep, miserable. It's just it's bad. It's bad news. So, anyway, how do you see this game, man? What do you think? How we feeling about it?
Good, man. I mean, I like the away games against the Cardinals. I think we've had a couple of doozies in the history between them, but I think this might just be another one. Hopefully the offense gets cooking, another 20-plus game for them for sure, and I'd like to keep the defense under 20. So I kind of want to see half, make a little adjustments here and there, see what else we've got, see where the playing time kind of lands with LVN being out and D. Wyatt. So I think that's going to be kind of neat to see where we're at with the D-line. But besides that, we just need to keep road grading. That wall up front needs to be excellent today in protection and in grading. So
got it. And we've got the official
there. Keep them under 20, right? I feel like that's a formula for success. We keep them under 20 points.
Right. Offense over 20, Tim, defense under 20. I'd be happy.
Yes, sir. For sure.
We finally got the inactive list here from the Cardinals website. All right. So Adam Schefter tweeted out Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray officially inactive today. So it will be Jacoby Brissett today. Cornerback Elijah Jones, Keaton Crawford, who's a safety, running back Amari DeMarcado, offensive lineman Demontre Jacobs, and offensive lineman Josh Fryer are all inactive. So it will be Jacoby Brissett today, Tim.
Yeah.
I got to be real, man. That makes me a little more nervous than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, sometimes I feel like he kind of what's the right word?
He'll give away the game for you.
He tries to play hero ball. Jacoby Brissett will take what you give him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come down to Halfley and the boys calling a good game on defense and executing. I would agree. I think Kyler Murray and then DeMarcado are the two biggest names on this inactive list for Arizona. And you're right. Jacoby Brissett can get it done with his feet too. I was talking a little trash last night, not worrying about him taking off and running on you, but watching a little film on him, he can get it done. Just like we talk about Jordan Love, he's not known as a mobile quarterback, but if he needs to scramble, he'll extend the play and he'll do it with his feet. And Jacoby Brissett is no exception to that rule. So I think you're right. I don't know if I would be, fearful, but I think you're right. I would have rather faced Kyler today with this Arizona team and the way that they're banged up. And, we're pretty familiar with the way Kyler Murray plays football, having to learn the hard way the last couple of years. Jacoby Brissett can be a bit of a wild card for us in this defense. So I hope we're good up front, and I hope we're good on the back end, and we get it done today for sure.
Yeah. And when you look at it too, just comparing those two quarterbacks, and we'll try to key in on statistics to give you to kind of give you the proper comparison. But Kyler Murray, his passer rating is at 88.6 on the year. Jacoby Brissett sitting at 87.3 yards per attempt. However, Kyler Murray's sitting at 6. Jacoby Brissett's at 7.1. Kyler's been more efficient. Completion percentage is 68.3%. Jacoby Brissett's sitting at 60%. However, the completion percentage over expected, Jacoby Brissett's sitting at a positive 3.4%, while Kyler Murray's at a negative 1%. So you can make the case for both players being the better quarterback this year, albeit Brissett's only had 45 pass attempts. But I think it's going to be one of those things too with the Brissett, having to start once again, combined with their running backs being so banged up. Obviously, we talked about James Conner being on IR. Trey Benson now on IR as well. That's their 2 leading rushers. Trey Benson was averaging 5.5 yards a carry. James Conner was only averaging 3. So they're going to be down to the backup and the backups of the running back room, along with the backup quarterback. And you've got to keep in mind, too, that Marvin Harrison Jr. has been battling, I think, concussion issues this year as well. So this kind of does feel good for the Packers. It feels like, all right, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. However, never say never, but never, right?
Feel even better that Keyshawn is active today. That was good news, considering what we're talking about here, because I would anticipate, they're going to try and throw the ball today. I mean, it's going to be difficult for them to get any kind of run game going.
Yeah, I'm hoping for 2 turnovers, Tim. We need to see it at some point, right?
We'll take one at this point. Let's get one.
Yeah, come on.
Just break the ice is what we need. Like Jacob on a Friday night, you just got to break the ice. You got to just be able to walk up to him, right, Jacob? That's the start.
Mm-hmm. It's all about that intro, man. You know about that. Real quick, just we were talking about Jacoby Brissett. His over-under in the passing game is 218.5. He was also slated at 12.5 rushing yards. So to Tim's point, not necessarily known for being a Mike Vick or anything like that, but he can tuck it and run it if he needs to. So you got to be vigilant of that.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett on the year, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he has turned the ball over once already. Kyler Murray was sitting at 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So probably, it looks like they were both averaging about the same touchdown to interception ratio there early in the year. So looks like the Bears got a field goal. So they're going to probably pull this one out, I would imagine. Let's go back to the box scores. We'll go around the league one more time, unless you guys got something else you want to hit on real quick.
Negative.
Good. All right, let's do it. Let's get an update on all the scores. So, again, the Bears just kicked the field goal. They now lead 26-14 over the Saints. Looking like the Bears are probably going to improve to 4-2 as the Saints will fall to 1-6. At the Browns boat racing the Dolphins 31-6. So the Dolphins are going to fall to 1-6. Emilio, at what loss total does McDaniel get fired down there, man? In Miami.
I think they might let him ride out the season, honestly.
Think so?
Yeah, because if he turns it around, say they get 6-7 losses and they still end up, they could go on a 8-game win streak, lose one more, end up 8-8, something like that, or 8-9. I think they'll give him at least until like week 12, week 14 before they actually would move on. If they go 1-10, maybe, but
yeah. Definitely. Next game, Patriots at the Titans, 31-13. The Patriots are leading that game. Drake May, I'm sure he's having another awesome day. 21 of 23, 222 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks, just balling out. Cam Ward been pretty effective. He's got that 1 interception. He's been sacked 5 times for 39 yards, but 25 of 34 for 255 yards passing. He's an accurate quarterback. I think he'll be fine once they get a decent team built around him. Tim, if they do.
And you can tell Cam Ward is frustrated. By the way that they're playing. And it's just one of those things. When you're a high draft pick quarterback, you're going to end up on a team like the Tennessee Titans. Hopefully they don't chew you up and spit you out like they've done to so many other quarterbacks in recent memory.
Yeah. An update on the Eagles and the Vikings. Jacob, you probably got a little bit better information, more up to date, but I'm showing the score is 28-19. However, the Vikings are driving. They're on the Eagles roughly 35-yard line, looks like.
Yep, they just missed a little bit of a deep connection. Wentz was trying to hit our boy Justin Jefferson on a deep route, but just came a little bit overthrown him. So now it's a 2nd and 10 from the 35. They just did a little out route, dropped the ball, Hawkinson. So now they are looking at a 3rd down, 3rd and long.
All right, there you go. So again, on the day, Carson Wentz, 23 of 35, 293 yards passing. That looks good, right? Wrong. 2 interceptions. Been sacked once for a loss of 7 as well. Jalen Hurts turning it on pretty good, though. 18 of 21, 281 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Saquon Barkley, 15 carries for 46 yards. I'm going to go see if I can find an update on Saquon Barkley. Tim, Amelia, what do y'all think about how this game's unfolding here in Minneapolis?
Keep an eye on that Minnesota front. You see Jalen Hurts 3 sacks there. They are getting pressure, it seems, at times. So something to note for our future matchups here in the division. But I think the Eagles are going to hold them off, get the dub today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
3rd and 10, they needed a play. Carson Wentz just scrambled up the gut for about a 15-yard run, 1st down.
Containing the run, though, I think the Vikings are doing that well. You got to kind of lock the Eagles down. I think they're doing that. But that's Yeah, it's a battle. I guess we'll see at the end of the score there, but hopefully we can keep up one in the division.
Yeah, I was going to say we got a couple of different conflicting reports here on Twitter in terms of Saquon Barkley. JLV Football said 8 minutes ago Saquon Barkley questionable return with a shoulder injury after this play, and then another guy, albeit it's J_Gaming89 on X, said update Saquon Barkley is back. By the way, is he back in the game, Jacob? Or I guess Vikings are on the.
Yeah, they're on defense right now, but and just a little heads up, Jefferson broke free on the right-hand side, but Carson Wentz sailed one over his head. Had a chance there, but definitely didn't connect.
Look, this is me acting surprised that Carson Wentz missed the pass. Right. So they should have J.J. McCarthy back next week, if I'm understanding correctly. So
yeah, it was weird. Today they had him as the emergency third down quarterback, which was.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, when he hurt his ankle on that play, when he was playing like cheeks, I think that was their way of going, yeah, we need to get him healthy. It was like, hey, let's back up, put you on the bench, let you learn a little bit more, and then we'll get you back out there.
Damn it. Spencer Rattler, you're killing my vibe.
Rattler with his third interception.
And the Bears are going to win this one as they get a long gain on the ground there as well. 4 minutes left. Bears lead 26-14. So this one's all but over pretty much.
Vikings are in a crucial 3rd and 2 right now, just inside the red zone at the Philly 12. Let's see, they're in the shotgun formation. Wentz takes the snap, looks over the center. Oh, he's in trouble. He scrambles out to the right-hand side, throws it into the end zone. Diving catch by Hawkinson. Touchdown. Wow.
Damn, you sounded like Paul Allen just now, man. I don't like it. This isn't Detroit, man. This is a Super Bowl. All right, so we got what you're saying, we got a ball game over there, Jacob. That's what you're telling me.
Pending a field goal, or I'm sorry, an extra point attempt, it'll be 28-26.
Still waiting for it to update here. We'll give you the update. All right, so the Vikings showing some life here, right?
That was an unbelievable catch by Hawkinson. Diving. I mean, I'm talking full extension, grabs the ball, secures the catch for the oof.
Was that on a 3rd and 2? It was on a 3rd and 2, wasn't it? Let's see.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so they were in a dub nasty look out of the gun, sidecar left, strong right. Snap. Oh, yeah, a little shake route down the seam. Scramble drill starts, and he cuts it back outside. That's hard to defend right there. Did he catch it, Jacob? Are we sure?
Ball's bobbling a little bit, but it looks like his hand's underneath, and he does secure the catch.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate it. To quote Coach Klein on The Waterboy, okay? Listen, when they dive and they catch the ball, right, and they're coming down on the ground, and yes, they've got it in their hands, if any part of the ball touches the turf, I think it should be incomplete. That's just me personally. I don't care if you've got a grip on and this goes for the Packers too. How the hell you can rule something a catch when a part of the ball touches the ground, but somehow – you understand what I'm saying? That stuff drives me crazy.
It is under review currently.
Yeah. Well, it was ruled on the field of touchdown, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I think that'll probably stand there. By the way, it's hilarious seeing the Eagles fan hold the baby there in the front row. She was like this. I thought they dropped the kid over the railing, seeing if it was a touchdown or not. So, all right, we'll see what happens here with the review. Jacob, you're going to get it before me. Let me know what the official word is, sir.
Will do.
Hawkinson looking like he came right out of the trailer park I was raised in. Just telling you.
Ooh, like you said, Clayton, that ball does, even though his hand's underneath it, the tip of the ball hits the ground. Then he bobbles it again, catches it while his body is kind of flailing up in the air again. We'll see.
Incomplete pass. Overturn it.
Really?
I think he's just wishing.
Oh, damn it. It is funny watching the sideline, though, because you look for their reaction because they know first, right? Both sidelines look pissed off, so I don't know what's going on with this one. What's Pereira saying, Jake?
They're calling it incomplete.
Told you.
No.
They just reversed it.
Oh, man. Sucks to suck. It's
his receiving is tough.
It is, Brett.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right.
Good deal, man. So there you go. That's going to be a turnover on downs. That was a 3rd and 2 play.
It was
right?
a 3rd and 2. There should be a 4th down coming up.
So surely they'll kick a field goal here, right? Make it a 1-score game.
I believe they're on the 12.
15, 4th and 2.
What would you do, Emilio, on the sticks, Madden 26?
Come on, Matt and
Emilio.
Emilio.
I'm going for it. Give me a little mesh concept. But I'd like to have the mesh concept with the inside slot on a speed out. So I have the option of getting to that speed out if the corners get crossed up.
Hey, they are coming to the line.
At the very end, I'm throwing the back on a quick Texas just as a backup plan in case all else fails.
Did a little Trey Wright, did a little out route to Addison. They got the first down.
Speed out. I'm telling you, the speed out is a tough play to stop.
Unbelievable. It's
cheese. A tough play to stop.
It's cheese. What it is.
As long as you can sit up there. As long as the corner's not outside leverage, you probably got a shot at it.
They're still
Jacob doesn't even know any of that stuff. He's still just running 22 dive. I mean, he just runs 22 dive every play.
Bro, I still got the Madden with Marshall Falk on the cover. All right.
Yeah, that one had the best soundtrack. I remember playing that as a kid.
It did.
I think we're playing John Elway football on NES.
I got the Reggie on again.
There you go.
Oh, I love it, dude.
There's an OG Tecmo ball.
Oh.
Shout out.
Jeez.
Shout out to
got crushed.
Yeah. Shout out to Mandy for getting them shipped in.
Yeah. Shout out to my credit card, Emilio. All right. So, Jacob, we are way behind now, man. We're showing a 2nd and goal. Is that what you got?
I got a 2nd and goal, from about the 18.
Well, give me some play-by-play, man. What are you doing over there?
Well, Wentz just took it out of the shotgun. He throws to the right-hand side, finds Hawkinson, gain of maybe about 8. He's going to be around the 10 or 11-yard line. 3rd and goal. 2:19 left. Clock is running.
Cooper DeJean interception coming. Let's go.
Oh, jeez, Tim.
Let's go.
They're rushing up to the line. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Clock is ticking.
Got to get it off for the 2 minute.
Shotgun takes the snap. Looking to the left-hand side. Floats up a floater prayer. Way overthrown for Jalen Naylor. 4th and goal. You'd have to imagine, what do you do here? 2-minute warning, 4th and goal. Down by 9, you take the field goal here. Or do you? It looks like that's what they're doing.
No, when you're that close to the goal line, you got to go.
We already went for it on 4th and 2 plays ago. Yeah, we're going for it.
Commercial break.
Now what are we on the 11 though? You can't run your mesh concept here. So
where are they at, Jacob? What yard line? Do you know?
I think they're on the 11.
Okay, all right. So it is the 11.
It's goal to go, right? So this ball's going to the end zone.
That's tough. You could probably run like a Tampa 2 on defense and be in good shape until somebody sits in the corner of the end zone. I don't know. Who do you go to? You got to get it to Jefferson, right?
I don't know. It kind of feels like it's been a
Addison.
It's been a day for Addison. Yeah. Addison on the day, 9 catches for 128 yards. So they're probably bracketing Justin to open things up for Addison, I would imagine. This kind of feels like a Naylor touchdown to me if you're going to go to somebody. Maybe come out in 11 personnel and get Naylor on their 3rd best back or 3rd best corner.
11 personnel, maybe Trips or Trey, and then get a little shuffle motion, try to get somebody a free release, stack it or something, and then
I get a whip route out, right? Ooh. Run a little whip out with the number 2 running a slant. Just pick your spot.
Yeah. Want me whip? Want me nay?
Oh,
want me whip?
There it is.
Here's the guy. I'm not going to, so quit asking.
It was unbelievable, Jake. I need you to know that. That was awesome.
Clay, have you ever heard that song?
Yeah, I've heard it. What kind of question is that, Emilio? What's your problem?
I don't know. You hadn't heard 2 phones from Kevin Gates, so I don't know.
He hadn't heard 2 phones?
We were 2
phones. We're going to give him some.
We only had 1 phone growing up, Tim.
Yeah, and it was attached to the wall with a cord, right?
Exactly. One of those rotaries. You know what I'm talking about. I remember those.
Did y'all's parents have the phone that had the extension cord that was laughably long, where you could go across the hole and it'd be like
outside on the back
slapping
porch.
You in the face and
sit out on the back porch like Scarface, living your best life. Unbelievable. It's a different time, man. It's a different time.
We back from commercial yet? Can we watch Minnesota crap to bed and get this game over?
What are the other scores?
Hey, they're going to kick the field goal.
I agree with that because it's not inside the 10. You know what I mean? If you're inside the 5, you go for it because you got to win back. Bad things can happen. So kick the field goal. You got all 3 timeouts. Do you try the onside? I would try the onside kick, me personally. I try the onside kick, then you got 3 timeouts to try to get the ball back too, right? So, what do you want to know, Emilio? The other scores?
Yeah,
right?
I was just taking a peek, see what else we had.
Yeah, so you got the Bears leading the Saints 26-14, 2-minute warning there. That one's pretty much over. Bears ball. The Browns are beating the Dolphins. Go ahead, Jacob.
They just barely squeak one in. Will Reicher just hits a 29-yarder to make it 28-22 with 1:57 left in the fourth. Like you said, all 3 timeouts for the Vikings.
Got it. All right. So Browns boat racing the Dolphins 31-6. Obviously, like Jacob said, the Eagles lead 28-22 now over the Vikings after that field goal. Panthers are leading the Jets, Emilio, 13-6. Jets 0-6, while Aaron Rodgers is over there. What are they, 4-2?
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough for just the AFC East, man. Jets and the Dolphins, both brutal.
Yeah, and then earlier today in London, the Rams boat raced the Jaguars 35-7. That one caught me off guard a little bit.
I don't know, man. I was worried about the Rams, but the way Matthew Stafford's back's holding up, I was worried that they weren't going to be good because of his back, and now I'm worried again that they were going to be good, and that that there's somebody that we got to look out for in the NFC for sure.
Look at this stat line: 21-33, 182 yards, 5 touchdowns,
no picks. That's
my man was cheesing it up. He's trying to get that XP, bro.
He is. No, he's trying to level up, bro. He got the gem. He was a 4-star with the gem, Clay. That's a good one right there.
Exactly what it was. All right, Jacob, what we got now, man? They tried the onside kick, or they kick it off? What they do?
Nope, they just lined up. They are booting it deep. Interesting stat. The Vikings have been in the red zone 6 times today. They have 1 touchdown and 5 field goals. Ooh, Eagles just helped themselves out, ran the ball out to the 45, got a great return when they needed it. 1:52 left in the fourth. The Eagles offense takes the field, and they also have all 3 of their timeouts.
Let's go.
All right, there you go. So we'll get ready to wrap this thing up as soon as we find out what happens with this Vikings game. Obviously, we're just about 20 minutes from kickoff. I keep combing through Twitter, and I don't see anything on the Packers, so we should be up to date there. Any information? We already got the actives, inactives, all that good stuff. Let's go around the horn one last time here. How do we feel about it? Jacob, you keep your eye on that game for me, okay? Tim, how do you feel about Packers Cardinals? Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up, man?
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be a close game, maybe a little closer than we'd like. But I do believe that as long as I say this every week, as long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and we play disciplined, fundamentally sound football, we should get out of here with a win. I'm not going to do final score predictions, but this one's going to be, I don't want to say a nail biter, but it's going to be close. So go Pack, go. I think we pull out the dub, and that's all that matters.
There you go. Just another Florida Patriot chimes in, says first time joining, enjoying the commentary. Thank you so much for the kind words, man. Hit that subscribe and drop back in for the post-game show later on this evening, immediately following the Packers Cardinals game. Appreciate you making us a part of your pregame festivities. Emilio, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah.
Packers Cardinals, how do you feel about it?
Keep an eye on the kicking game, right? I'm happy that we're letting McManus, sit out another week. Let's just heal that thing up. Just try to take out all question of it being painful or anything like that bugging him. Haversick, just have a game, do your thing. And yeah, like we said before, over 20 for the offense, under 20 for the defense. I'd be thrilled with the game. If everybody needs double-digit wins, sure, get them that. But I could care less. It could be 21-19. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick McSwain in the chat says 30-17 Packers. I hope you're right, Nick. That would be awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. Jacob, what do you got for me over there, man? Anything?
Yeah, so the Eagles came out, ran the ball up the gut with Saquon for barely no gain, forced the Vikings to take a timeout. They then, for whatever reason, decided to throw a little slant route. Hurts threw it behind the receiver. It stopped the clock. It's now 3rd and 9 with 1:45 left on the clock. Eagles have 3 timeouts. Vikings got 2. Hurts is coming in with a shotgun set, and they just called the timeout. They had a trio to the right. They just called a flag. Interesting.
That is crazy that you would try to pass in that situation.
Yeah, man.
It's weird, right? Isn't that weird? Especially when they had the ball at their own 45.
Yeah. Tim, we're gonna hit our charity here real quick, man. I don't want you to be in the middle of the read and then Jacob go, oh God. So
I'll mute myself.
2 sacks, 1 turnover would Would that work, or what are we looking for from the defense here? You got any guesses?
Oh, it's a good
I think
question.
2 sacks is reasonable for sure, even despite the fact that that we're down LVN and Wyatt in this game. I think we get a couple sacks, and then I'd like to get at least 1 turnover, maybe a tip ball for a pick, strip sack, something like that.
Yep.
I think this is the game that we get an interception. I think we come away with the pick here.
Please.
Sure. Jacob, what you got, man?
I think this may be the snap of the ball game here. 3rd and 9. They just take the snap. Hurts back in the shotgun. Lofts up a bomb down the field, wide open. A.J. Brown takes the snap. Takes the ball, I should say. Somehow avoids a tackle. Gets tackled inbounds. That should be the ball game.
And there is your dagger.
Wow.
Go, folks. So that's how it's going to end 28-22. Eagles, I would imagine they're not going to try to score. They'll just run the clock out. So thank you for the update, Jacob. I got pizza downstairs waiting on me. Tim, tell them about this awesome charity that you found, brother.
Yeah, operationhorsesheal.org/how can I help. We're trying to raise some money for a great cause here to help our veterans, active duty service members and their families as well. This was actually my wife is doing some work with them and put me up on this, and I'm glad we're able to partner up and give you guys a chance to win a Romeo Dobbs autographed jersey while also helping a great cause. We're trying to raise money to get them a truck and a horse trailer to help bring life-changing horse-assisted programs to our veterans. So operationhorsesheal.org/how can I help, or scan that QR code in the upper right. If you guys want to donate, any dollar amount is fine, and every donation gets you entered into the drawing to win that Romeo Dobbs jersey.
There you go, guys. Again, there's no amount too small to donate to give to this awesome cause. Let's give back to those who sacrificed so much for us and our freedom. So, again, that's operationhorsesheal.org. Go check it out. Even if you can't donate, share that website, man. Let everybody know how to make a difference there for our veterans. So, all right, guys, that's it. We're out of here. We'll be back for the post-game show immediately following Packers Cardinals. So I don't know what time that'll be. The link is already created. So as this stream signs off, you'll notice another link that's showing a live stream that's upcoming. Everybody will be in there chatting during the game. And if for some reason the Packers are up to a big lead, 2 or 3 scores, let's say 3 scores, that's kind of the rule, then we'll jump in and start the pregame or the postgame show early. I don't expect that, though. I think this one might come down a little bit closer than most people are expecting. So appreciate you, boys. Thank y'all for joining, man.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you on the postgame show, everybody. Enjoy the game. All right. Just hopefully we get a nice little lead sitting back like this, sipping our whiskey.
Right.
Enjoying it. But all right. We'll see y'all after the game. Take care.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.